then I'll be real, boy.
So yeah, MJHSK today.
On the 19th of the 9th, 2024, my sister and I went to Warrigal Discount Chemist at 6:40 to pick up prescribed medication for my father. They said they were filling it out and made us wait 15 minutes before the pharmacist called my sister over and told her he wouldn't give us the medication because it had been filled yesterday. My sister asked if there was any way around it because my father needs the medication and his psychologist said to keep it on hand. The pharmacist repeatedly asked why he needed it and kept saying there are 10 tablets, he should have enough to last 10 days, and he should only be taking 1 or 2 a day, as if my father was abusing his medication. The pharmacist repeatedly interrogated my sister, even though she had already told him why my father needed the medication. My sister then said she'd call my father so he could explain himself, and when he answered, the pharmacist took the phone and walked away from the counter while he spoke to my father. When he gave the phone back, he said nothing and instead walked away. My sister and I walked to the payment counter and asked the worker there for a complaint form. The worker left and went to talk to the pharmacist, and when she came back, she said they didn't have a form for a complaint, but they would give my sister their email and she could send the complaint there. My sister then asked for the pharmacist's full name, which is usually displayed on the wall. The pharmacist then came behind the worker and told my sister he wasn't going to give her his full name. He then said, and quote, "You can do what you want, but you're not having my full name, and leave the store, the pharmacy is closed." His tone was rude and vicious, and my sister and I both felt scared and threatened by how violent his body language and voice was. I felt like a disgusting piece of dirt with the tone he used and his body language. He was very aggressive about it. He began to interrogate me at the start, which made me feel really uncomfortable and accused and humiliated in front of everyone else. Then he was really rude, and when I tried to make a complaint, he completely shut it down. And yeah, I couldn't believe it. As a person who's sick and has used that chemist for a number of years and regularly gets my medication from there, I was just horrified to be spoken to like that. And it was. I felt like a disgusting piece of dirt. Just trying to do the right thing and make a complaint.
Thank you for your thoughts on that, Gabby. I'll just get MJ over here to have his say on what happened last night. And I've got a bit to say after that. Thank you, girls.
Can I just add one more thing?
Yes, you can.
I just want to clarify, so there's no misunderstandings, that it wasn't a script that had already been filled out. There was a script for the same medication, and this was a new script, so we weren't asking for medication that didn't have a script. I just wanted to clarify that, so there's no misunderstandings.
Well, thanks for clarifying that. Look, last night's treatment, from what I heard over the phone, I was a second-hand witness, first-hand witness, directly hearing the events, and it was absolutely disgusting. What I haven't heard yet is the name of this guy, and I'll tell you what the name of this guy is right now. His name's
Mahmoud.
And if you wanted to check out his name and try and find that on the list of pharmacists, well, too bad you're not going to find that on there because it ain't on there. And but as for his treatment last night of my sisters, well, it was absolutely disgusting. There's a good comparison to it, which I'm not going to compare right now because you're about to hear that great comparison. And I tell you what, it's spot on the mark. This guy is an absolute disgrace.
Terrorism in Warrigal. I put this down to probable act of terror. What happened the next day, if you thought that wasn't bad enough, as my son and I was walking past Coles Warrigal today, as I was walking past Coles with my son today, a man named Mahmoud, who works at Chemist Discount Centre in 38 Palmerston Street, Warrigal, 3820, threatened me and then lunged at my son, attempting to attack him, and steal his Samsung tablet. He also treated my two lovely daughters like the way they treat women in Al-Qaeda, the Taliban and Iran. Completely intimidating them, and they felt like the hostages who were abducted by Hamas and kept in terror dungeons, and like they were being gunned down. They were absolutely terrorized by this pharmacist named Mahmoud inside the store at 6:50 p.m. last night, and today I seen the terrorizing demeanor of this extremely violent and radically behaved man for myself, and he's totally out of control and very dangerous. The Chemist Discount Centre is a very unsafe place to be, especially for women, as long as they keep this madman around. And regards from Chain, Mahmoud. In fact, the incident was so severe and profound in the effect it had upon my daughters that we spent $250 on a taxi to go to the Pakenham store in order to avoid Mahmoud, and not a single issue happened there at the other store. We will never go to or deal with Warragul Chemist Discount Centre again because of Mahmoud and the fact that there is something very wrong and dangerous about that place. Having said all that, the first thing he did was demand that I be arrested or something like that, and we went over to say we voluntarily walked over to the police station. He followed us in there and stood so close to me that it looked like he was going to stab me. And it was likely probably going to be a terrorist act. And we looked up this guy's name, and he's not a registered pharmacist on any Australian pharmacy board, or and he's not identifiable unless he goes by another name. But he is Iranian of descent, and I've got no doubt that he is linked with terrorist organisations and is in such a bad mood about the way Israel is bombing the crap out of his, what do we call them?
Relatives.
Probably his relatives overseas in the Middle East, or West Asia as they call it. But he's a very dangerous man, and something very wrong is going on at Discount Pharmacy. He tried to make up a false narrative where we waited for him to stalk him and waited for him to come out and then ambushed him, and that was the narrative he came up with to get out of it. But in the police station, we got in there first, so we just queued up in line, and he sidled so close beside me, it looked as if he was going to pull out a stabbing weapon and start stabbing me. So my son, who's a security guard, and I thank God for him, jumped in and said, "Stand back over there, mate," and puts us apart. And then I realised what was going on and said, "You stand over there, we stand over there." And Brett English came out, Acting Sergeant Brett English came out and had a chat. And that's all I'm going to say about Acting Sergeant Brett English. He seemed to have a problem with my son, Sergeant Brett English, and so did Brooke. Is it Emily Brooke from Warragul? Made up a false narrative on the spot, and this guy got away with a very vicious attack that happened on the street, not in the store. And so look out, because it may have been the first attempted terrorist attack in Warragul. So look out, people, because the terrorists are here. That's my opinion. And this is Chain McDonald from the Holy Sabbath Keepers Homeschool Church of God. And go Israel. And we Israel. Here's Lachlan Jimzel with his own, with the final piece of the puzzle. He will conclude this. He will summarise it and add a conclusion. Thank you, Lachlan.
Thank you. As for the terrorist activity you mentioned, yes, I do agree. I mean, it just appeared in my mind that intentionally refusing to give someone prescriptive medication is an easy way of breaking down medical infrastructure in Australia. And look, I'd say beware of that. As for Emily Brooke and Constable Aaron Bowen.
Oh yeah, that's right, Aaron Bowen.
Yeah, and Constable Aaron Bowen. Both of them are just picked without hearts either way. I couldn't give a rat's ass about
Neither could I.
what their views, opinions, who they like, who they don't like are. In fact, I'm very happy and very stoked. I was very stoked when I was told today that they did not want to speak to me under any circumstance. Now, what I want
and that goes for me too. If they don't want to talk to you, then they don't want to talk to me. So if they're going to play games like that, well, I don't want to talk to them either.
Of course, but
And I know for a fact they love talking to me.
yeah,
I know that for a fact.
of course.
Because when I was in prison, I kicked so much fucking ass, criminal ass. The screws basically all they had to do is sit in their office,
Yeah,
drink coffee all day.
exactly. But I want to take it back to.
But I take all that back now, and if they're going to put shit on my son, then they put shit on the father.
Yeah, exactly. But I want to take.
I created this boy, so if you want to put shit on him, take it up with me. Now, this guy attacked my son today, tried to steal his tablet. He made a second attack in the police station, but because my son's a trained security guard, he was all over it. And he stopped him dead in his tracks. But
Yeah.
I do believe that was an attempt of a terrorist attack, and the first one of its kind in Warragul.
Yes, damn straight.
And we're putting the FOI forms to get the footage from all the relevant places, the Watch House at Warragul and Coles, and we'll try and fill you in more on this story on this guy.
That's right.
But watch out. Watch
Yeah.
out for this guy and that chemist.
Absolutely, do watch out for the guy and the chemist, or I should say the alleged chemist. Look,
He
as
refuses to give his name. He refuses to give reasons why he's refusing medicine. We're law students. My son done me the great honour of looking up the Act. What's the Act?
the
Controlled Substances and Poisons and Drugs Act, is it?
yeah, it's drugs control poison. Yeah.
There you go. So, and it says in there that there is under no circumstances can prescribed medication be refused to be dispensed. But if it's not prescribed by a doctor, then there is all these reasons that they can not do it. But this guy, he has no idea of that act. He has no idea of the job he's doing. And he treats women like if they're not wearing a burqa, they should be whipped and caned and flogged. And he gave my daughters a verbal thrashing, and he was so violent and unemotional in his demeanour that my daughters were terrified and they felt like they were gunned down, about to be gunned down. They felt like they were going to be abducted, like the hostages in Gaza, like they were on 7th of October. They had that feeling in their gut. It was a terrible experience for them, and we will never, ever go near that place again.
Yes, no, exactly right.
And things like that.
That's right, absolutely, 100%.
So watch out, Warragul, because the terror is in your midst.
It is. It's very in the midst. I just wanted to bring it back to the situation. Look, it is. I encourage everyone to stay the hell away from chemist discount centre in general, and just leave it for all the scumbags like the Master of Disasters and go to another pharmacist. Otherwise, you're going to be putting up with the Mahmoud. But I want everyone to know that the guy you're looking at in the photo, there's a close-up, and that's Mahmoud. That's the guy under him. He's got his Chemist Warehouse shirt. We went up to him. Oh, we didn't go up to him, so we were just walking down. We're going to go to the Chemist Warehouse.
We were heading to YGP Graham.
YGP,
we were just coming back from the Father Brendan's house, where we popped in there for a visit, and we're heading straight down to YGP Grain, and this guy, we come across this guy who attacked my son, and it was quite a vicious attack.
That's right.
Yeah.
So there's a number of things you've done.
Because of my son's excellent skill in training and security, then he was able to put a stop on it and shut him down. And it was his security skills that did that. And he wasn't expecting that, because my son pulled out his security license and he explained what he was about to do. And that discombobulated or disrupted the guy's plans. And he turned to try and get us in trouble with the cops.
Yeah.
And that was his first port of call. So he ran straight to the police station, put on a cock and bull story, and obviously Emily Brooks happy to create, and she's embedded a narrative straight away. And we're going to put this up tonight before anyone can get any injunctions on us to stop us. People need to know.
Yeah, exactly, they do. So to
can I say that the terrorists are here in Warragul? That's my opinion. He is definitely affiliated with terrorists and terrorism. There's a lot going on over in Lebanon and West Asia, and I'm sure he's having a bad day every day because of the fresh revelations of the bad news going on over there. And he's willing to take it out on people. So watch out, guys. And I bet he's got a few associates, quite a few.
That's right, exactly right.
And the interesting part is too that Hamas loved, and he's from Iran. This guy's from Iran. We checked up his name. He's from Iran, and the interesting part is Hamas. I've lost my train of thought there. Do you want to?
Yeah. Okay.
Talk about the likelihood of probability of him being affiliated with terrorists, a terrorist organisation like Hamas.
I'm not trying to say that just because a person is Iranian that makes him a terrorist.
That's got nothing to do with it.
That's not what we're trying to say here.
What we're trying to security guard. You're trained to identify and deal with and report terrorists or suspicious activity in the terrorist field. Is that not correct?
It's correct.
Is that part of your job as a security guard? And yeah, I think he was caught off guard by the fact that you're a security guard.
Yes.
But how it came to pass, he picked on my daughters last night, and then managed to pick us out just off the street.
Yeah.
There's more to this guy than meets the eye, and the fact that we can't find him on the registered pharmacists. He doesn't know his job.
Oh, he doesn't even know his name. When we asked if he was Mahmoud, he said no. So I don't know. It's very complicated. It's not complicated, but it's a very
the way he treated
fishy, dodgy, and
the way he treated.
Sorry to cut you off. But the indicator of terrorist behavior is dodgy, fishy, that kind of conduct. Just something's not right about it.
Something's not right about that whole store these days.
It's true. It's true, and it's not just the master.
Hamas, the interesting thing about Hamas is that all their centres were in hospitals. They were in medical, all their headquarters and stuff and their bases were under hospitals. They were under chemists. They were under medical. And you know, it's pretty obvious that the Hamas terrorists or soldiers or brigades were all trained medically trained as nurses, doctors, etc., etc. And they were so highly trained in the medical profession that they got into UNRWA, UNRWA, and it's very suspicious. Circumstances are very suspicious.
It is. They're extremely suspicious. So, in summary, there's a guy, and his name's Mahmoud, and he is posing as a pharmacist in St. Chemist Discount Centre. He abused the crap out of my sisters last night, treated them like absolute dirt, and really made them, really hurt just really hurt them by the way he treated them. And I'm sure he treats other women like that. Today, we were confronted by this man. He he lunged at me and tried to snatch the tablet from my hand and to do whatever he wanted with it. And he got up and then he ran to the police station. So you'll see a video of him walking off. That's because he's going to the police station. And he's
That's
also,
just after the incident.
That's right, just after the incident. And accompanied by a woman who claims to be the owner, though she's clearly not, of the store, and who also treated my sister like crap after my sister tried to make a complaint about Mahmoud.
Because of the way he treated the girls. He treated the girls the way that the Iranians treat women who don't wear burqas.
That's right.
That's how he treated our daughters.
That's right. So I would suggest that just overall, in summary,
Stay away.
just stay away from Chemist Discount Centre. Just do yourself a favour.
Or don't. I really don't care. Look, what other people do, I don't care. But I know that this is likely the first evidence or the first appearance of terrorism in Warragul.
Yeah, and that's right, and that's what the purpose of this is right now.
And I just want to shout out. Can I just shout out to Albanese, who did raise the alert and say that terrorist attacks are probable. So yeah, look out, Warragul.
That's right.
The terrorists are in our midst.
Exactly. So that's the point right now. Mahmoud, the guy you see on the screen, he is
Suspect. He's a suspect.
He's a woman basher. Let's face it.
Oh, he's definitely a woman basher.
He's a woman basher.
Yep.
And he will treat women like absolute dirt. He will then also try and steal your phone, and he
Attack you.
He's not an actual pharmacist.
He'll try and sidle up right next to you in order to stab you.
From the research I've conducted, he'll come right up to you. I'd be wary of that because he might stab you. And the final thing that everyone should know about Mahmoud is that if you have a script, definitely don't ask him to dispense it because he won't.
And he is likely to be armed and dangerous. Well, he is dangerous, but he's also likely to be armed with a knife, with a stabbing instrument.
That's right. Absolutely. So
very likely.
That's right. So just know all that, and
just fair warning.
Fair warning.
And just like to praise God that today He was able to save us once again from another attack, and it's a bit more than a psychotic episode. Now, I just want to explain about the psychotic episodes, and not because we've been psychotic. The psychotic episodes are psychotic episodes that other people have had against us. And that's why we call them psychotic episodes. It's not because we're having one. It's because the people who are attacking us are.
Yeah, no, that's... I thought that would have...
Just wanted to point that out because
it probably
is
is important.
It
is important. Yeah, it probably is important. But as for me, it was always just an assumption. That
just watch out, everyone.
Yeah. But, yeah. Apart from that, God bless and...
Thanks, Jesus.
Praise the Lord Jesus Christ.
Thank you. There's an option other than this Islamic
terrorism,
Allah, jihad, rubbish. And thank God Israel's taking care of biz over there.
That's right.
And God bless Israel and Pinto and all the Israelis who are taking them on, because they are very, what's the word? They're
radicalized.
There's no bottom. There's no depth, low depth that they won't sink to.
They've got no standards.
They've got no principles, no character.
That's right.
All right, well, there you go. So, Discount Pharmacy.
The depth of their depravity knoweth no limits.
All right, there you go. Fair warning, everyone.
Fair warning. God bless. Keep it real.
난 없지 필요 다 없지 Who's the king, who's the boss 다 알잖아 내 이름 이만상 새끼들 강장 놈의 목을 쳐 Everywhere 이젠 이슈에 Flashy 터질 때 안전한 도착의 축복을 담을게 God bless 그때 나를 다시 기억해 빠른 선택걸어 anywhere J in the air 가는 길이 희망이 되고자 하연하고 태어 입은 my one was made up your love in your face 보다 더 high 저 멀리서라도 나비가 돼 Just walk lightly whenever you want Go on hopefully wherever you walk 누군가의 숨이 깃들여 있는 거리 내 영혼과 영원을 담을게 everywhere Every time I walk